Hello, I know it's later than I normally do it, but welcome to today's news with Omi. I'm so glad to have you out here. Um, the one thing I'm using a streaming platform, so it takes a minute for come on Instagram. Okay, sorry about that. I'm gonna have to start. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to edit this out on YouTube. All right, here we go. Hey, starting over at like y'all to see those few minutes. Welcome to today's news with Omi. I know I'm way later than I normally am. I'm actually coming to you in the afternoon, and that never happens. But I had some awesome things happen to me today. I got to interview MC Light. She has a new album coming out called One of One. So you can stay tuned that she's gonna drop a single on August 23rd, and that the August 20th forward. August 20th or August 23rd, you're gonna see her drop a single, and it's called Thank You, and it's with Mary and Money Long. But her album called One of One is coming out soon. I'm talking about MC Light if you're just joining me. So you should check that out. It was interviewing her was super great. We'll have a video of that coming soon. Breaking news. I mean, listen, this is not news I want to be breaking, but Nelly was just arrested for ecstasy possession. This happened today, 8/7/2024. Bad news for Nelly. The rapper was busted in Missouri, and cops say illicit drugs are involved. Nelly was arrested early Wednesday morning for a couple of offenses: possession of 4 ecstasy pills and not having insurance, according to online arrest records. The Hot in Here rapper was busted in Maryland Heights, a suburb outside of St. Louis, Nelly's hometown. Nelly's government name is Cornell Hayes II. Now, why do they have to put his government name out there? Okay, just to tell us he was just arrested. You don't gotta put his government name out there. But Nelly, whose government name is Cornell Hayes II, was taken into custody at 4:45 a.m. this morning and booked at Maryland Heights Police Department. He's since been released, but he had possessed. He was arrested for ecstasy and not having insurance. How are you that rich and you don't have insurance? Like, what the heck? Um, Speaking of St. Louis, Representative Cori Bush lost primary in the latest blow to Progressive Squad. Congresswoman Cori Bush lost her primary in Missouri's first congressional district on Tuesday. The latest blow to the Progressive Squad on Capitol Hill after Jamal Bowman's loss in New York earlier this year. Let me tell y'all got to make sure you got to vote, because right now there's a huge strategy to unseat people. St. Louis prosecuting attorney Wesley Bell won the election 51.2 to 45.6%. The race was one of the most expensive local primaries in history, with pro-Israel lobbying group AIPAC spending $9 million in ads for Wesley Bell. Bush's campaign spent just $1 million on ads, backed by $2.2 million from the progressive group Justice Democrats. Bush also faced criticism over federal investigation into allegations she used campaign money inappropriately to obtain special house security, which she insists is inaccurate. Harris's victory as president. Okay, well, let me go to y'all already know that she chose Tim Walsh to as her running mate. VP Harris chose Tim Walsh as her running mate, and they had a awesome rally in Philadelphia this week. And so I think, the feedback that I'm getting is that he's too progressive. I honestly would say if you trust VP Harris, trust her decisions and get yourself out there and vote, okay? We don't got time to be playing around. Make sure you're voting. A Harris victory would give Minnesota its first female governor. If VP Kamala Harris is elected to president and Tim Walsh becomes vice president, Minnesota Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan will become the state's first female governor and the first Native American to hold the position. Peggy Flanagan, a member of the White Earth Band of Ojibwe, has a background in education and activism, having served on the Minneapolis School Board and advocated for improved relations in tribal nations. She also played a role in critiquing Minnesota's old flag for its racist depiction. State Senate President Bobby Joe Champion would become lieutenant governor, making him the first Black person to hold that role. Flanagan has expressed support for Walsh's potential vice president bid and a commitment to serving Minnesotans. Something that I was just saying, if you just joining me, I did an interview with MC Light just now. She has an album coming out called One of One. Stay tuned. In August, they're going to drop a single called Thank You with Mary and Money Long. But what I was talking to her about is that her having a raspy voice actually empowered me, because I have a raspy voice, and I spent so much time like lifting my voice. And so what she talked about was that she had just over the years have received training related to like leaning on your vocal cords. And as I'm talking to y'all now, like I realize what she's talking about. Like even with me, I damaged my vocal cords because I lifted my voice, and even in me doing that, I'm still like leaning on my vocal cords. But if I were to give my vocal cords some breath, and I were to sort of sit up straight and really like not lean on my vocal cords, it would sound a little bit more like this, but I'm not lifting the tone, nor am I leaning into the tone, which if I'm really just, dang, I feel like I went really low. But if I really just lean all the way into it, actually, when I do this, I'm not leaning on it as much. Anyway, sent out to say, I learned a lesson today from MC Light in my interview where, all right, continuing with the news. Usha Vance defends husband's childless cat lady comment. I'm sorry to say that. As a quip in first solo interview. Usha Vance, the wife of Republican Vice President nominee J.D. Vance, defended her husband's previous comments deriding childless adults as downplayed his labeling of some Democrats politicians as a childless cat lady, calling it a quip. In an interview with Fox News that aired on Monday, Vance said her husband was speaking about the challenges facing parents and the role government plays in the parents' lives. The reality is, JD made a quote. He made a quip. He made a quip. And he made a quip in service of making a point that he wanted to make that was substantive. Was it a substantive point though? Was it really? Did he need to say it? A CNN K-File review of multiple similar marks by J.D. Vance underscores how the childless cat lady comment was part of a broader pattern of him expressing the culture war by, in part, singling out Democratic leaders for not having children. So I don't think it was a quip, but then there's that. Israel returns bodies of 89 Palestinians to Gaza, accused of inhumane treatment of the remains. Israel returned the bodies of 89 Palestinians killed in its military offensive in the Gaza Strip this week. The Hamas-run Gaza government media said Israel has sent the remains as bones and decomposed bodies in an inhumane manner. The occupation provided us with no information about the names or ages or anything. This is a war crime, a crime against humanity. Yemen Abu Suleiman said. He is the director of the Palestinian Civil Emergency Service in southern Gaza. Protesters who are demanding the return of Israeli hostages criticized the exchange, asking why Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu would allow the handing over of Palestinian bodies without a ceasefire deal with Hamas. Israel airstrikes killed at least 18 more people on Monday. On Tuesday, Hamas said it had chosen Yahya Sinwar and its top official in Gaza as the new leader on its political bureau, following the killing of Ismail Haniyeh last month. Israel minister says it may be moral to starve 2 million Gazans, but no one in the world would let us. What? Israeli finance minister Lord have mercy, Bezalel Smotrich said, it may be just immoral to starve millions of Gazan residents until hostages are returned, but no one in the world would let us. The far-right minister was speaking on behalf of the Qatif Conference for National Responsibility. He said Israel should take control of distributing aid inside Gaza and claimed that Hamas was in control of distribution channels within the Strip. He said if Israel controlled aid distribution instead of Hamas, the war would have ended by now and the hostages would have been returned. You cannot fight Hamas with one hand and give them aid with the other. It's his Hamas money. It's his fuel. It's his civilian control of the Gaza Strip. It just doesn't work, he said. He went on, it's impossible in today's global reality to wage war. No one in the world will let us starve and thirst 2 million citizens, even though it may be just and immoral until their hostages are returned. Oh my God. Global markets rally. Speaking of, let's talk about the stock market. Where do I want to go? Where do I want to go? Okay. Global markets rallied Tuesday after early rout that dragged the Dow Jones to 1,000 points. Stocks jumped on Tuesday, recovering some losses from the previous 3 trading days as investors took a pause from recession fears and Japanese equities rallied. All 11 sectors of the broad market index were positive for the day. Several mega cap tech stocks and small cap stocks also rebounded after a sharp pullback on Monday. listen, we're in election time. Things are going to be volatile. I think that's as to be predicted. Um, this is we can talk about that more. I have one of my guests on my show, Willie Williams, who's also the board chair for BGV, came on and talked about how that works, and I want to have him on the show to talk about more of that. Elon Musk says civil war is inevitable as the United Kingdom is rocked by far right riots. He's a part of the problem. Elon Musk, the owner of X, posted to the platform Sunday that civil war is inevitable in response to a post about anti-immigration riots in the United Kingdom. Social media has played a big role in fueling the protests, with some posts blaming the violent demonstrations on the effects of mass migration and open borders. On Monday, a spokesperson for the UK Prime Minister addressed Musk's comments, telling reporters there's no justification for that. Musk's decision to amplify the anti-immigrant rhetoric highlights the role that false information spread online is playing a fomenting real world violence is playing and fomenting real world violence, an issue of growing concern to the UK government, which vowed Tuesday to bring those responsible for the riots as well as their online cheerleaders to justice. Well, we know Don Lemon is suing X as well. All right, so I got some other things for y'all on tech news. All right, so let's check this out. Speaking of Elon Musk, he is suing an ad industry group of allegedly advertising a boycott. Elon Musk, X has accused a group of major advertisers of antitrust violation in a new lawsuit claiming that the group conspired to boycott advertising on the platform. The lawsuit claims an influential ad industry group called Organized to collectively withhold billions of dollars in advertising from Twitter because the group was concerned that the platform had deviated from brand strategy standards at the Musk acquisition in late 2022. The group is the Global Alliance for Responsible Media, known as GARM, a voluntary ad industry initiative run by the World Federation of Advertisers that aims to help brands avoid having their advertisements disappear alongside illegal and harmful content. GARM counts more than 100 prominent companies as members. 4 of those companies, CVS, Unilever, Mars, and Danish Energy Company, were also named as defendants in the lawsuit, which was filed in federal court in Texas on Tuesday. Elon Musk stay in the news. All right. Meta must do more to address non-consensual deepfake porn, an oversight board says. Meta failed to remove explicit AI generated image of an Indian public figure until it was questioned by its oversight board. The board said Thursday in a report that calls on the tech giant to do more than address non-consensual new deepfakes on its platform. The report is a result of an investigation the Meta Oversight Board announced in April to handle into Meta's handling of deepfake pornography. So I don't know if y'all know what's happening right now, but AI generated images that are really perpetuating this deep fake porn. So they're taking superstars, putting their faces on other bodies, and then taking their bodies and putting on other people's faces. Like it's getting really bad. Like the threat of AI generated pornography has gained attention in recent months, with celebrities like Taylor Swift, as well as U.S. high school students and other women around the world falling victim to the form of online abuse. Widely accessible generative AI tools have made it faster, easier, and cheaper to create such images. Social media platforms, including Meta's, where such images can be spread rapidly, have faced growing pressures to combat the issues. That's a big thing that's happening right now. The FBI is warning consumers not to use public phone charging stations. The FBI is warning consumers against using public phone charging stations in order to avoid exposing their devices to malicious software. I mean, dang, what can we do nowadays? Like, are we safe anywhere? What the heck? So the FBI is saying, do not use public phone charging stations in order to avoid exposing your device to malicious software. Public USB stations, like the kind found at malls and airports, are being used by bad actors to spread malware or monitoring software, according to a tweet last week from the FBI's Denver branch. The agency did not provide any specific details. Carry your own charger, Carry your own charger and USB cords and use an electrical outlet instead, the agency advised in a tweet. While public charging stations are attractive to many, when devices are run critically on low battery, security experts have for years raised concern about the risk. In 2011, researchers coined the term juice hacking to describe the problem. Just by plugging your phone into a compromised power strip or charger, your device is now infected, and that compromises all of your data. Well, y'all heard it. Be careful about using public charging stations. Boeing still doesn't know how a plane missing four bolts was sent to Alaska Airlines. 7 months into investigations, nearly 10 hours of hearings, and yet neither Boeing nor the National Transportation Safety Board know how a 737 MAX was delivered to Alaska Airlines without the four bolts needed to keep a door plug in place. What is known, the Boeing procedures and training by employees and by safety investigators have drawn enormous skepticism and criticism from the regulators. That was on full display in the first day of a 2-day hearing. The NTSB called a rare public hearing to examine the near tragedy on January 5th with Alaska Airlines flight in which a door plug blew out, leaving a gaping hole in the side of a plane. And nobody knows. Nobody knows how it happened. Nobody. I don't know if y'all saw the things with Michaela Skinner, I believe is her name. I feel like many people have covered that, but she said she's receiving death threats and called on Simone Biles to help to stop it because she made some comments after the Tokyo Olympics around their team being lazy now, and so so Simone posted a slightly, it was human, it was a little petty, but hey, she get to do what she do. She's Simone Biles, she's the greatest, she's the GOAT, and said, oh, just a bunch of lazy athletes right after they all won gold. And so now Michaela Skinner is getting it. One thing's for sure is that the person themselves may not be negative people, but however, not negative people, a person with a large following may not be someone who's negative, but their followers are like an army for them. Okay. I don't have any science news for y'all today. I am trying to get better at this and end these in about 15 minutes. I also, listen, going live every day is actually making me a better journalist. So I'm so happy that I did this. And so really when y'all see me go live for these first bits of videos, this is like my third week doing it. I'm really just, I'm just practicing reading live, practicing information that I would not normally, that I haven't read before. So a lot of times, like when I'm hopping on, I'm reading that information fresh. Sometimes I've read it before, but like I'm reading it at a certain pace. And so reading it at a certain pace is try to maintain like a level like entertainment, but also try to like really give y'all the news. It's actually not as easy as it looks. So like shout out to all the journalists out there. Like if y'all watch the news, like know that reading from the teleprompter, trying to read and keep it at a certain pace. Where today you are reporting on what is happening in the world. Like it's not easy. But one thing's for sure, if y'all look at my camera quality over the last 3 weeks, my camera's looking crispy because what I learned is how to use my iPhone camera. So by the way, if you have an iPhone and you are doing anything on the internet, you can use your iPhone as your camera. You can simply just plug it in. You can also, if you use certain platforms like Zoom, you can do it. But I downloaded Epoch Cam, EPOC Cam onto my phone, and using that, I was able to get it to all connected to any platform that I'm on. So that's the news. That's a little tidbit if y'all didn't know. I don't know if I'm gonna be on next week. Okay, next week I'll be in Martha's Vineyard. I fly there on Friday, and so I don't know that I'll be able to do the news from there. It's gonna be crazy because I've been streaking. I've been doing this for like every day for 5 days a week. Every week, and so now I'm like, ooh, I'm taking a break next week. And my goal here is to get refined. My goal is to really get better at delivering content. My goal is to get better at reading the news. My goal is to get more comfortable. It's like something happens in my mouth. Like, I don't want to say all that because that sounds weird. But where I'm trying to like read, stay calm, elongate my neck. Because this is vocal athleticism. Okay. And today I did 3 interviews with 3 separate folks, went on a fundraising call, and I'm delivering news. So it is just to say thank y'all so much for watching. Thank y'all so much for seeing me work this out real time, because really that's what you're seeing. You seeing me like figure this out real time. So when I'm slipping over my words or I'm getting things wrong, you seeing me like figure this all out in real time. And thank you for your grace, and thank you for tuning in every time, because it means a lot to me. Subscribe to my YouTube. Head over to YouTube and just search at The Omi Show. And if you're watching on YouTube right now, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because I am bringing you news on a regular basis. I'm going to take a week off next week, but then I'll be right back the following week with more news. You can also listen to me on Sundays on SiriusXM Urban View Channel 126 from noon to 1, and then live on Tuesday mornings with SiriusXM Urban View. You can call me then too. Every Tuesday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. SiriusXM Channel 126. One day, y'all gonna see me with a whole show, like Club Shay Shay level show that has a big sponsor, and I could just go on and have and talk to people. Like my conversation with MC Light today, I want to talk to her for so much longer because she has so many stories. I know it, and I want to hear all about them. So, having said all that, y'all stay tuned, keep it locked. Thank you for following. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in, and I'm gonna keep delivering news. Thank you.